You've seen them before. That person who walks into a room and just commands respect without saying a single word. It's not the logo on their shirt or the car they drive. In fact, people with genuine long-term wealth almost never advertise it. So what is it? What's the secret sauce? Well, they've mastered a hidden language, a set of quiet, subtle behaviors that broadcast high status and completely changes how everyone around them responds. Think of it like a key to a secret door. From the outside, it just looks like a wall. But once you know where the lock is, a whole new world opens up. This isn't about being born with a silver spoon or faking it till you make it. It's about understanding the psychology of class, the mindset that protects and grows wealth, and the habits that signal you're playing a different game entirely. The good news? You don't need a trust fund to learn this language. You just need to know the signals. In this video, we're breaking down 12 powerful behaviors that make people see you as upper class, even if your bank account hasn't changed yet. These are the small, almost invisible choices that separate the quietly wealthy from those just trying to look the part. And the first one is something most people do every single day, but get completely wrong. Behavior number 1, they master calm confidence, not performative confidence. The single most powerful signal of high status is a quiet, unshakable confidence. It's not loud, it's not arrogant, it's a deep-seated calm that says, I'm secure in who I am and I don't need your approval. Performative confidence is like a shallow, noisy stream, splashing and babbling to get attention. It's the person who dominates every conversation, laughs the loudest at their own jokes, and constantly one-ups people with stories about their success. They are practically screaming insecurity, begging for validation that they belong. True upper-class confidence is like a deep, slow-moving river. It's powerful, but quiet. It's rooted in listening more than speaking. Secure people ask thoughtful questions because they are genuinely curious, not just waiting for their turn to talk. They hold eye contact not to dominate, but to show respect and engagement. They are comfortable with silence, letting a pause hang in the air without rushing to fill it. That pause is a power move. It communicates that they are thinking, not just reacting. This behavior signals that their self-worth is internal. It's not tied to other people's opinions or the logos on their clothes. They've already proven themselves to the only person that matters, themselves. The moment you stop needing to prove you belong in the room, everyone in the room feels it. This calm energy is magnetic. It makes people lean in to hear what you have to say, precisely because you aren't shouting for their attention. Behavior number 2, they speak with precision and zero verbal clutter. This means they have all but eliminated filler words like like, and you know. They don't ramble or tell long, unfocused stories. They think before they speak, and when they finally do, their words are chosen for maximum impact with minimum fluff. Think of their words like an arrow shot at a target, direct and purposeful. In contrast, speech filled with clutter is like a shotgun blast, messy, unfocused, and hoping something hits. Even in a disagreement, they keep it brief and assured. They don't get emotional or defensive. They just state their position calmly and clearly. This isn't about flexing a huge vocabulary to show off. It's all about clarity and control. Precise language signals an organized mind and a person who is in command of their thoughts. It communicates that what they have to say is important and they respect their own time and yours, too much to waste it. Contrast this with the speech patterns of someone signaling lower status. Their speech is often littered with fillers and run-on sentences. They might speak loudly and quickly, almost like they're afraid of being interrupted. That frantic energy gives the game away, revealing a disorganized mind that's racing with insecurity. To adopt this trait, just practice the pause. The next time you feel the urge to fill a silence with, just stop, take a breath, collect your thought. It might feel weird at first, but this one small change will dramatically alter how people perceive your intelligence and authority. Behavior number 3, their manners are effortless, not performed. This really shows up in the small moments. It's in how they treat service staff, with the exact same genuine respect and eye contact they'd give a CEO. There's no big show, no theatrical thank yous or overly familiar chatter. It's just a quiet, dignified acknowledgement of another person's humanity. It's also about what they don't do. They don't over-apologize for existing. Someone from a middle-class background might blurt out, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," if someone else bumps into them. Someone with upper-class conditioning stays calm, maybe with a simple, "Pardon me," because they don't automatically assume they are in the wrong or taking up too much space. They don't flash a nervous, eager-to-please smile. Their smile is slight, and it's genuine when it appears. This effortless courtesy comes from a background where social graces were taught as fundamental, not as optional add-ons for special occasions. It signals a deep-seated social confidence. They aren't worried about the rules because they internalized them years ago. That automatic grace makes them incredibly comfortable to be around, and that social ease is a powerful, understated signal of high status. Behavior number 4. They stay calm during chaos. This might be the ultimate class marker, a behavior I call emotional wealth. Think of it like a ship in a storm. A small boat gets tossed around by every wave, but a massive ship with a deep keel stays steady, barely noticing the turmoil. The truly upper-class person is that ship. Think about a flight delay. For most people, it's a trigger for instant frustration. You'll see them sighing dramatically, complaining loudly to anyone who will listen, or pacing back and forth. Their voice goes up an octave and their body language gets tense. Why? Because a flight delay might mean losing a precious day of paid time off or blowing up a tightly planned budget. It feels like a genuine threat. The upper-class individual reacts differently. They don't see the delay as a personal attack or a catastrophe. They see it as a simple logistical problem to be solved. They quietly find a lounge, make a call, or just pull out a book and wait. Their calmness signals that this inconvenience is not a major disruption. It communicates that they have the resources, be it time, money, or connections, to handle the fallout without an ounce of stress. This emotional regulation is a direct byproduct of security. When you aren't living on the financial or emotional edge, you don't operate from a place of scarcity energy, that state of constant low-grade panic. You operate from prosperity energy, a calm assurance that you can handle whatever comes your way. This unshakable composure is one of the hardest things to fake and one of the most powerful signals of true underlying stability. Behavior number 5. They have a different relationship with time. You'll notice that those with a lower status often seem to be in a perpetual rush. They sprint through airports, speed walk down city streets, and talk quickly as if their time is constantly being stolen from them. Their calendar is like a packed subway car, crammed and stressful. The upper class, however, never seems to be in a hurry. Their pace is deliberate, unhurried, and intentional. This isn't laziness, it's a profound signal of control. Rushing implies you have poor planning and no power over your own schedule. It suggests you're just reacting to the world's demands. A calm pace, on the other hand, communicates that the world waits for you. They build margins into their day, making sure they arrive on time without ever breaking a sweat. Their calendar isn't a list of obligations, but a menu of choices. They value their time far more than they value the appearance of being busy. For the truly wealthy, time is the ultimate luxury good, far more valuable than any watch or car. They know that money's greatest purpose is to buy back your time. They take their time responding to emails or requests, not out of disrespect, but because they believe in thoughtful consideration over instant reaction. That powerful pause gives them control and keeps them from making hasty commitments. By refusing to be rushed, they signal that they are the masters of their own time, and in our hyper-connected world, that is the ultimate status symbol. Behavior number 6. They are extremely selective with complaints. Everybody complains, but what people complain about and how they do it is a massive class divider. Most people bond over shared frustrations. Their complaints are like background noise, a constant drip of negativity about gas prices, bad weather, their boss, or the government. It's a way of saying, hey, we're all in this mess together. The upper class treats complaining like a surgeon treats a scalpel. They use it rarely, precisely, and only to fix something. They don't waste energy complaining about things they can't change. Instead, they might quietly mention a logistical snag, like a poorly managed event schedule, and usually frame it as a problem to be solved, not a grievance to be aired. There's no drama, no volume, and zero attempt to get sympathy. This habit signals two things. First, it reflects a deep-seated emotional regulation. They don't get a thrill from negativity or see the point in bonding over misery. Second, it demonstrates an abundance mindset. They aren't worried about the small stuff because their baseline security is so high. Complaining about the price of a coffee seems absurd when your mind is occupied with decade-long investment strategies. They handle problems privately and directly. If a waiter gets an order wrong, they don't cause a scene. They quietly and politely get it fixed. By refusing to join the daily chorus of dissatisfaction that traps so many people, they elevate themselves and save their energy for things that actually matter. Behavior number 7. Their social boundaries are crystal clear. They are friendly, polite, and engaging, but there is a clear and impenetrable boundary that you just instinctively know not to cross. This boundary protects their most valuable assets, their time, their energy, and their private life. People with weaker boundaries tend to live with an open door policy. They overshare, trauma dump on new acquaintances, reveal intimate financial details, or say yes to every invitation because they're more afraid of being disliked than of being drained. Their personal energy is like a community pool, open to everyone. The upper class operates on a different frequency. Their energy is a private reserve. They say no quickly, politely, and without a long, drawn-out apology. They filter social invitations through a ruthless lens. Is this a valuable use of my time? They're amiable, but always maintain a certain distance. You could know them for years and realize you know very little about their private life, their worries, or their deepest insecurities. This creates what psychologists call the mystique effect. The less someone reveals, the more status and value we tend to assign them. Their privacy isn't a sign of being cold, it's a sign of self-preservation. They understand that their attention is a resource to be managed, not a prize to be won. By maintaining these firm social boundaries, they signal that their inner world is a private, exclusive space, and that exclusivity is the very definition of luxury. Behavior number 8. They protect their privacy like it's an asset. In a world of oversharing, the new symbol of status isn't what you show off, it's what you protect. While many people treat their lives like a reality show, broadcasting every vacation and purchase, the truly wealthy treat their privacy like a vault. This is stealth wealth in action. You won't see them geotagging their home or flashing their first-class boarding pass online. They understand that showing off attracts the wrong kind of attention, envy, jealousy, requests for money, and even security risks. Wealth is supposed to provide security, and broadcasting it negates that very benefit. This attitude extends to their conversations. They never, ever talk about money in specific terms. They won't mention their salary, their investment returns, or how much their house cost. If someone is rude enough to ask, they use vague, dismissive language like "things are stable" or "we're comfortable" before quickly changing the subject. They operate under the assumption that someone in the room always has more, so boasting is just seen as crude and amateurish. This isn't about being secretive for the sake of it. It's a strategic move to protect their relationships and their peace of mind. When your finances are private, your friendships stay authentic. You never have to wonder if people like you or your wallet. Privacy is the ultimate privilege. It allows them to live their lives without the noise and friction that comes with visible wealth, signaling a level of security that needs no advertisement. Behavior number 9. Their clothing is quietly expensive, never obvious. The loudest person in the room is often the least powerful, and the same goes for clothing. Loud luxury is like a pop song with a catchy, obvious hook. It's designed for immediate mass recognition with logos and trendy designs. The truly upper class practices quiet luxury, which is more like a complex classical piece. Only those with a trained ear or eye will recognize its genius. Their clothing is often staggeringly expensive, but you would probably never know it. The focus is on 3 things: impeccable fabric, perfect tailoring, and timeless design. They wear logo-free, high-quality basics in neutral colors like navy, beige, and gray. You might mistake their plain merino wool sweater for a $40 basic when it's actually a $520 piece from a brand that whispers its quality. This is a form of horizontal signaling. The obvious logos of loud luxury are a vertical signal meant to impress those of a lower status. Quiet luxury, however, is a subtle code meant to be read only by other members of the elite. It's a secret handshake. These clothes are treated as investments, meant to be worn for years, which aligns with a mindset of long-term value over fleeting trends. This approach signals a confidence so deep that it requires zero external validation from a brand name. The quality speaks for itself, but only to those who know the language. Behavior number 10. They don't chase status, they pursue hobbies. There's a fascinating split in how different classes spend their free time. Many people chase hobbies that are like social currency. They run marathons for the medal and Instagram post, take up golf to network, or learn about wine to sound impressive. The activity is just a means to an end, social validation. The upper class, in contrast, often cultivates hobbies that are more like a private garden, tended for personal joy with no audience in mind. They might become an expert in a niche historical period, learn to identify rare birds, take up landscape painting, or dedicate themselves to sailing. These pursuits require deep knowledge, practice, and patience. These hobbies signal luxury in its purest form, the luxury of having immense amounts of time and mental energy to pour into something for the sheer joy of it, not for any external reward. It shows their identity isn't tied to their productivity, Furthermore, these niche hobbies create a subtle but effective form of social gatekeeping. A conversation at an upper-class dinner party might revolve around the nuances of fly fishing in Montana or the challenges of restoring a vintage sailboat. If you don't share this specific cultural vocabulary, you are gently but firmly left out. It's a world where status isn't about what you own, but what you know and what you do when nobody's watching. Behavior number 11. They educate themselves quietly. In the internet age, many people treat learning like a performance. They share articles to build a personal brand, jump into online debates, and post their reading list on Instagram to signal how smart they are. Their learning is a public spectacle. The truly wealthy treat education more like building the foundation of a skyscraper. It's a deep, private, lifelong project that no one sees, but it supports everything. They are voracious readers, but you won't see their bookshelf on social media. They quietly consume dense, substantive material: history, biographies, economic reports, and classical literature. They might hire private tutors or take courses to deepen their understanding of a complex subject. The goal of this education isn't to win an argument or impress others. The goal is to evolve, to gain a deeper understanding of the world, and to make better, long-term decisions. This is why the most successful investors are often the ones who spend most of their days reading and thinking, not talking. They observe more and debate less. This habit also extends to practical knowledge. They treat learning about complex tax strategies, estate planning, and asset protection as a necessary part of managing their lives. This quiet dedication to learning signals that they're playing the long game. They aren't trying to win today's news cycle. They're building a knowledge base that will compound over a lifetime, just like their wealth. Behavior number 12. They don't chase popularity. Popularity chases them. This final behavior is the result of all the others. A person who is needy and desperate for validation is like a weak magnet. The person trying the hardest is almost always the least respected. Desperation is repellent. The upper class understands this instinctively. Their self-worth is internal, so they don't need a crowd of admirers to feel validated. This also shows up in a pattern of selective frugality that people find magnetic. They might be surprisingly down to earth about some things, like driving a 10-year-old car or using a simple phone, but will spend lavishly on what truly matters to them, like a unique travel experience or a piece of art. This authenticity is compelling. They aren't following a script of what a rich person should buy. They're living by their own values, because they aren't trying to impress anyone. They become the standard that others aspire to. They set the tone. They host the parties. They become the center of gravity in their social circles, not because they demanded it, but because their quiet, authentic, and self-possessed nature makes them the person everyone else wants to be around. So, there you have it. 12 behaviors that quietly signal your upper class. As you can see, none of these are really about the amount of money in your bank account today. They're about mindset. They're about restraint. They're about trading the short-term thrill of loud performative status for the long-term power of quiet confidence. True class isn't about what you own. It's about how you act when you have nothing to prove. It's the calm in the middle of chaos, the discipline to protect your privacy, and the wisdom to value your time above all else. These aren't unattainable traits of the super rich. They are choices. They are habits you can start building today. Start with just one. Practice pausing before you speak. Say no to something that drains your energy. Choose to listen instead of talk in your next conversation. Each small shift is a step away from the frantic need for validation and a step toward the calm, unshakable core of true high status. Because in the end, the ultimate luxury isn't a yacht or a mansion. It's the freedom to be completely and quietly yourself. If this video helped you see the world of class and wealth a little differently, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these behaviors did you recognize in others, or which one are you going to start practicing yourself? Share your story. I try to read every single one. Thanks for watching.